Hi, boys and girls. Today we are reading The Foolish Tortoise, and this is written by Richard Buckley, and the pictures are drawn by Eric Carl. Another way to say written by is author, and another way to say pictures drawn by is the illustrator. And this is a fiction story about this silly turtle. And let's get started. A tortoise, tired of being slow, impatient to get up and go, there he is, took off his large and heavy shell and left it lying where it fell. Hooray! He cried. Now I've been freed. I'll see the world at double speed. So this silly tortoise thought that his heavy shell taking it off was going to make him so much faster and be able to do more things a lot faster. So let's see what happens to this silly turtle when he took off his shell. Though faster, he was not express, and his perfection was far less. So when he heard a hornet's drone, the tortoise crept beneath a stone. A hungry bird came swooping past. He looked so fierce and flew so fast. The tortoise hid behind some trees and felt quite weak behind the knees. Oh no, boys and girls, let's take a look. So without his shell, he was very vulnerable. That means it was very easy for the turtle to get into some type of trouble. Because of his shell, it protected him from creatures from eating it because the shell was so hard. It was very hard for like a bee or a hornet to hurt him, or even really hard for a bird to peck down on it because the shell was there to protect him. So without the shell, he was in a lot of trouble. I don't feel safe. There's too much risk. If only I could be more brisk. He headed for the riverbed. A fish swam up. The tortoise fled. Oh no. So even then, look, the fish could easily get to the tortoise because he didn't have his shell. It was easy for him to grab him and take him into the water. But look, I want to point out, look how funny this turtle looks without a shell. He doesn't quite look like a turtle. I don't really, it kind of looks like a lizard, doesn't it? Along his way, our hero went and almost had an accident. A snake with open jaws slid near. The tortoise backed away in fear. Oh no, it must be really easy for that snake to eat up that turtle without his shell. A hare, a hound, a horse raced by. So rapidly they seemed to fly. The tortoise gasped, and he sat googly-eyed. I'll never be that quick, he sighed. He wandered on, the sun rose high. I wish I had more shade, he cried. A sudden thunderstorm swept in and soaked the tortoise to the skin. So without his shell, he didn't have anything to protect it from the sun. So he was getting a sunburned. Oh, boys and girls, do you hear my puppy back there snoring? There's the picture. All right, let's move on. The wind rose up, and soon the breeze was bending branches in the trees, and the tortoise shivered. Now I'm cold. I wish I hadn't been so bold. So he didn't have his shell to protect him from the wind, because it was like a little house, his shell. And there's my dog back there. I think I've lost the urge to roam. I think it's time that I went home. Without my shell, I don't feel right. So when his shell came into sight, there it is. Let's see what happens. He climbed back in and said, "Good night." Oh my goodness. He went back into his house. Boys and girls, God in his perfect plan, he designed every animal to have all the things that they need to make them able to succeed and live out into the world. So with the Lord knew when he gave that turtle that shell that though he might be a little slower, he had ways to protect himself from danger. And though he might not appreciate it, I bet now he does appreciate it after being without his shell. And that's even like us. Though the Lord might have given Mrs. Crothers crazy straight brown hair, it's my crazy straight brown hair or wavy, whatever, hair that the Lord gave me. And he gave my little girl, Elena, curly, full hair because that's exactly who he wanted her to be. And we need to appreciate each other's differences and how we look and learn to love the skin that the Lord gave us. And because there's a reason why he made us all different. Because if we all looked the same and had the same things like a turtle shell, it would be quite boring. And we'd all be very green, wouldn't we? All right, boys and girls, it's good to see you and talk to you, and I will see you soon.